Well, good afternoon, folks, and thank you for joining me. My name is Michael Gault. I'm an eminent domain attorney with Bell, Carrington, Price, and Gregg. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a couple of seconds here and enter some information, some contact information for myself and our team into the chat box so that you can reach us at your convenience for more detailed information as the time comes along. Normally, we have these town halls live. Unfortunately, due to some prior commitments this evening, we're having to pre-record this town hall. And so I'm going to put this information here so that you can reach us and ask any questions you may have about your specific property after you watch this town hall and gather the initial sort of summary information that we have for you about the eminent domain process and about this project in general. If you're here with us this evening, you know that we're here to talk about the Spout Springs Road Widening project in Hall County. If you live or work in this area, you've been hearing about this project for a while, and many of you have seen and are seeing construction along phase one of the project. But generally what you're seeing is a widening from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, plus a raised grass or concrete median, turn lanes added where needed, pedestrian facilities, including sidewalks, and some intersection improvement and management. Now we're into phase 2 of this project, which is some right-of-way acquisition that began back in the late part of 2023, and that's going to continue until 2027. And so many of you that are receiving our information regarding these town halls, maybe some of you that watch here this evening or recorded at a later date, maybe you've already settled your eminent domain case. Maybe you're already in condemnation. But if you're not, and if you don't have someone helping you through this process, I think it's important to reach out to our team to have that consultation. This process, the eminent domain and condemnation process, can often be confusing. Our team at Bell Carrington has a team of attorneys and staff that work to represent landowners, both residential and commercial, in cases like this all the time. This is all that we do. We take the case from the very beginning to the very end, and I'll walk you briefly through that procedure to show you what it may look like. In the near future, if you haven't been contacted already, you'll likely be reached out by a government official letting you know that some property that you have may be impacted. That's the government's right. Even if you're not able to negotiate and settle the case with the governmental entity at that time, ultimately they have the right to take the property through eminent domain. That simply means that the government has the right to take private property for a public purpose. And they do that through the act of condemnation, which is essentially a lawsuit that gives the government the right to property that they claim through eminent domain if the case can't be settled. You may ask yourself, well, if they have the right to take it, then what do you mean by settlement? Fortunately, you as landowners, you also have rights in cases like this. Among the most important of those rights is the right to just compensation. And that means that even though the government has the right to take your property, they have to pay you fairly and adequately for what they're taking from you. Unfortunately, that determination and that calculation is rarely an easy one. Certain appraisals or officials on behalf of the government may want to come to you and say that this is how much we're taking from you and this is how much it's worth. But that oftentimes misses the mark, and it oftentimes misses the real value impact to your property. That's where we come in. We help our clients from the very beginning stages through that initial contact and the initial offer and appraisal, all the way through the evaluation process, the counteroffer process, the negotiation process, and ultimately, at the end of the day, if we're not happy with how much the government offers, then you have the potential right to a jury trial. Now, that's an oversimplification. There are many steps that happen in between, but the beginning is an eminent domain contact, followed by a condemnation, possibly, and then ultimately, potentially a jury trial. Our value when it comes to representing landowners like yourself in cases like this is in making sure that the just compensation is truly realized, that we determine what the damages to your property are, and that ultimately we argue for and negotiate on your behalf to make sure that you're compensated fairly and adequately for what you're losing as a result of projects like this. Myself and my team, we're standing by. We're happy to speak with you because while I can give you general information about the process and eminent domain and condemnation in these town halls, I can also give you much more detailed information during a one-on-one conversation. If you'll visit us at bellcarringtoneminentdomain.com, you'll find a number of ways to contact our team by phone, by email, a couple of different ways that you can schedule consultations directly with us and have somebody reach out on the phone or through a Teams call or Zoom call or whatever is most convenient for you and your team, or you and your family if this is a residential parcel. We're happy to oblige, and we're happy to sit down with you for a free, no cost, no obligation consultation where we can dive in on a parcel specific level to find out what the impact to your land may look like and what we think we may be able to do to help you. And that's important because generalizations don't help here. We see impacts that range from a small corner or a small strip along the frontage all the way to complete impacts, or what we call total takes of property that require a complete relocation of the improvement or the building that's currently situated on any particular tract or parcel. And there are obviously many different complicated impacts in between those two opposite ends of the spectrum. And so if you reach out to us, you can email me directly. Feel free to reach out to us via our website or give me a call, and I'll be glad to speak with you personally or connect you with the right team member who can guide you step by step through how we can help you and what the impact to your property may be like. Finally, just because many people are often hesitant to make those initial calls to lawyers' offices, and I understand why, sometimes attorneys' fees are exorbitant, and it makes no sense for a landowner many times to reach out to pay thousands of dollars in attorney's fees when that may be all they're looking to stand to gain from the government anyway. Fortunately, at Bell Carrington, we have developed a unique fee structure. It's a contingency fee structure where we represent landowners based on a percentage of the amount that we're able to recover for them in just compensation over and above the initial offer received. So there's no out-of-pocket money due on behalf of any potential client, certainly not on behalf of any client. We don't ask for retainer fees. We don't bill hourly. Instead, it's a pure contingency fee basis that's owed at the end of the case. And if we're not successful in increasing the amount of just compensation offered to you, then you're not on the hook for any fee to our firm in our eminent domain practice. So I hope that we've been able to give you some brief background about condemnation and eminent domain this evening or whenever you're watching this recording. But the key takeaways are, if you haven't been contacted yet, you likely will be soon. It's important to understand the impact to your property. It's important to know your rights as a landowner in the eminent domain and condemnation process. And our team has a number of lawyers and staff ready and standing by to speak with you about your particular impact, how your property is impacted, how the value may change, and what we can do to help put you back in a position similar to what you were in prior to this project starting. Again, Michael Gault, Bell Carrington, Price and Greg's eminent domain team. Apologize for this being recorded, but we couldn't help it this evening, and I hope that this at least gives you some information that will lead you to reach out to us. Thank you, and hope to talk to you soon.